The best investment that we can all make in our national security is in its people. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Military Family Advisory Network, and we are here to make life better for military families. We do that through a few core ways. One, doing a lot of research to understand the lived experiences of military families. Two, taking that research and designing agile and responsive solutions so that military families get the support that they need. And three, strengthening the ecosystem. We know that there's not one organization out there, us or otherwise, who can do this work on their own, and so we really believe in collaboration.
Understanding the needs of our military community is essential if we're going to have a strong national defense system and national security apparatus. Thinking about family readiness is essential components of military readiness.
We joke internally that data don't lie, but it's so important and it's so true. And so we brought together this first advisory board, and we really figured out that we needed to hear from as many military families as possible, and that's where the research was born. And so our first survey launched back in 2014, and we've been at it since. We really saw a gap between the understanding of what military families were going through and the people who are in decision-making roles.
When you dug below the surface, start talking to the top NCOs and the mid-level officers, and then you talk to people, the service organizations like MFAN, it was the data that we received from these service organizations that confirmed to us that we had a problem.
MFAN's secret sauce is both the combination of our advisory board and our ability to do research in-house start to finish.
It's really critical that in those reports, they present some of the information that tells you who they gathered it from, how they went about it, so that you can trust the data that you're reading about.
I'm an engineer and I'm super data driven, and there's nothing that allows informed decision making more than actual data. And so it is an invaluable benefit when you have real data that comes from real people.
A data point at the end of the day is just a number, and lots of numbers show a trend, but the stories around those numbers, they give life to those numbers.
The MFAN survey made it clear that those who were serving in the military didn't think it was the kind of lifestyle they'd want to have for their sons or daughters. The members of Congress, yes, we have a problem and Congress has to fix it. 31 recommendations we came up with out of the House, of which the Senate passed 29 of them, and the president signed all 29 into law.
For me, the most humbling and also surprising research finding that we've seen is that around food insecurity. For years, we were hearing, oh, it's not a problem, but when we used the best standard, the USDA scale, we found that it was around 1 in 5 military families that were experiencing food insecurity. MFAN data really opened up the aperture for understanding new things.
The Military Quality of Life panel got its start when I recommended to the chairman that we do something. Why is it that we have so many people in the military on SNAP or going to food banks? Why is our housing getting a failing grade from the GAO? But we could not have done this job without the MFAN's help with data.
And when you marry together those lived experiences, those human stories, and the real scientific data, that's when we saw the ability to drive really meaningful change. We found there were 4 consistent experiences that military families had that made them more vulnerable around food insecurity. One was a growing family, an unexpected hit to the budget, military spouse unemployment, and then a recent move or a PCS.
A PCS is a permanent change of station. Every 2 to 3 years, your life absolutely changes. You pick up everything that you own and you leave what has become home and head somewhere else. The financial burden can be extreme, especially when you start talking about having to replace things, not just your personal items. We're talking about things like our pantry or your cleaning supplies. Pantry restock box, it's more than just your generic pantry items. It did come with some great, just ready to go snacks that my kids really enjoyed, but it also came with other essentials that you don't even think about needing until it shows up. Things like a shower curtain, dish soap, trash bags, paper plates, plastic cutlery, things that you want to have, but you don't want to have to run out and grab. They're just conveniently there, ready to go.
If a family screens as food insecure following a move, it turns on our partnership with Instacart, and they get 3 months of groceries delivered to their home. This program is designed to get people the support that they need in a really dignified way. And I have seen how MFAN's data and MFAN's work has led to real, meaningful policy change that will impact people's lives. Things like the pay increase for junior enlisted, things like a real look at if the basic allowance for housing is keeping pace with what it needs to be based on today's real estate environment. It helps us realize that we're keeping our promise to the families that we serve.
It's not just the person who raises their right hand in service, it's also their family who is in service as well.
It's really critical that we support this population because it's essential for our national security. And to me, it's just the right thing to do.